Hey guys, I just realized something. Wait, is the camera on? Oh, that's it. Okay. I just realized something that I forgot to mention one of the other phenomenal movies that came out this past October, and that is 12 Years a Slave. Oh my god. I have to talk about this movie because it's definitely a huge Oscar contender right now. I'm pretty sure this movie is definitely going to win a lot of Oscars, for sure. And, I mean, well, let me just start off by saying this. Wow, this movie really... It's an intense movie, especially for a subject of slavery. I've never felt so bad for, like, even watching movies like Django Unchained, or anything like that. I just... man, you really get a glimpse through what these people have gone through, what these African Americans have gone through, and it's such an incredible story. It follows up this man named Solomon Northup, I think I said that right. Basically how his transformation from, you know, being this normal violinist free man who ends up being sold into slavery. What a powerful movie this was. There were great performances in this movie too. I mean, I don't remember the guy's name. He plays Solomon though. I've seen him in movies like Salt, 2012 and all that. And I just gotta say, he blew me away in this movie. Because I didn't think of him as much of a great actor. You know, usually it's like, oh, he's just put in this movie. He's shoehorned in there. But he was so phenomenal as Solomon. He's really the spirit of the movie. It's just so amazing. And you have other fantastic characters like Michael Fassbender. Oh my god, what a freaking bastard that guy was. I think he's definitely going to get nominated for an Oscar, maybe even win an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. He was so riveting. Every time Michael Fassbender was on the screen, it's like, oh my gosh, I feel like, should I look or I couldn't realize, like, I couldn't tell, like, should I keep looking or not? Because sometimes I just couldn't look. You just kind of flinch, you know. And what's funny about this movie's really unflinchable. It doesn't, like, necessarily withdraw or anything like that. It doesn't, like, blink for a second where you miss something. It goes all in and all out for it. And it was terrifying. And Michael Fassbender was definitely one of the... Every time he was in a scene, he definitely had some of those big moments. Other great characters in this movie. There's one lady, Lupita Nyong'o, or whatever her name is. She was phenomenal in the movie. I freaking loved her. And there are a lot of other actors that I didn't know were in this movie. Paul Giamatti. That one scene when he just calls Solomon, your name is Blatch or whatever, or Platt, yeah, Platt. Oh my gosh, it's just like, this movie is literally undescribable. It is so good, but yet it is so horrific to watch in a sense. And you also have other great actors like Benedict Cumberbatch. He's been in a lot of movies this year, and this is definitely one of his better performances for sure. And also Paul Dano, who, if you also remember, is the one criminal from that one of my favorite movies of the year, Prisoners. You know, the one with the mindset disability and all that. He was so good in this movie, and that back and forth situation between him and Solomon was so phenomenal. It was so great. Okay, now the guy who made this movie, Steve McQueen, he isn't afraid to push. He isn't afraid to, like, take things to the extremes. He really takes it to the extremes, but he takes it to a certain extent to show people, like, to really just kind of showcase the whole point of why he does this. It's not anything like a Quentin Tarantino movie or a movie that, like, really kind of pushes and then releases at times. This goes all the way, but it goes for a purpose, is to show. The movie expresses humanity, basically, and like what all these black slaves had to go through, and it was just so powerful to watch. My big flaw with this movie is that it's, you know, like I mentioned before, this movie doesn't flinch at all. It just goes straight through, and it's really hard to look at sometimes. I literally kind of had to, like, just kind of rest my mind for a sec for what I was watching. I had never seen anything more intense, especially in a slavery concept, because really, if you think about it, there's no movie that's ever really showcased the inner parts of slavery. This movie does that like a champ, but still at the same time, it's just hard to watch sometimes. And while it is a phenomenal movie, I still give this movie a 9. It is phenomenal. I mean, I wouldn't say this is a movie you need to watch over and over and over again at all. This is probably like a once-in-a-lifetime movie you need to watch, and that's it. but still, I mean, great performances, great direction by Steve McQueen, fantastic movie all around. You know, if you haven't seen it and you really want to, you should probably watch it, but fair warning, watch at your own risk, especially if you're black. Now, I'm not being racist on that, I mean dead serious. But that's my take on 12 Years a Slave. And hopefully I'm going to do some more reviews. I know I'm going to do one for Catching Fire and Thor 2 and Frozen, and definitely into more December movies as we come. But don't worry, we got a lot of time for that. But for right now, be sure to like, subscribe, tell all your friends, and hopefully I'll see you sometime later on. Bye.